The morning sun filtered through the windshield as you drove towards college, your best friend Sia chattering excitedly beside you about the upcoming lecture on artificial intelligence. The radio played softly in the background, and for a moment everything felt normal. But then, without warning, your car began to sputter and lose power. Your heart sank as you guided the vehicle to the side of the road, the engine giving one final cough before falling silent. No, 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 you muttered, turning the key repeatedly, but the car refused to cooperate. This cannot be happening right now. Sia unbuckled her seatbelt and peered at the dashboard. Well, this is just perfect. We are going to be late for Professor Kim's lecture, and you know how he feels about tardiness. You both stepped out of the car, standing helplessly on the roadside as the other vehicles whizzed past. The morning air was crisp, and you wrapped your arms around yourself, contemplating your opinions. You could call a tow truck, but that would take forever. A cab seemed like the most practical solution, though finding one. That's when you heard it, the low rumble of an approaching engine. Sia's eyes lit up as she stepped closer to the road, waving her hand to flag down the sleek black vehicle that was coming towards you. Your stomach twisted with an inexplicable sense of foreboding. The car slowed down, its tinted windows reflecting the morning light. As it came to a stop beside you, the driver's side window rolled down, and your entire world seemed to tilt on its axis. Time slowed to a crawl as you found yourself staring into a pair of familiar dark eyes that had haunted your dreams for the past month. Jungkook, Oppa, you? She surprised voice cut through the thickness of the moment, her tone a mixture of delight and shock. Your heart hammered against your ribcage so violently that you were certain everyone could hear it. He looked exactly as you remember, devastatingly handsome with his dark hair styled perfectly, his sharp jawline and those eyes that could pierce right through your soul. He wore a simple black shirt that emphasized his lean, muscular frame, and despite everything that had happened between you, your traitorous body still responded to his presence. Jungkook's gaze flickered between you and Sia, his expression carefully neutral, though you caught the briefest flash of something pain, longing in his eyes when they landed on you. What are you both doing standing here? His voice was smooth, controlled, betraying nothing. Sia gestured dramatically at your car. Her car decided to give up on life right in the middle of our commute. Can you believe our luck? We are going to be so late for class. Without missing a beat, Jungkook nodded towards his passenger seat. Get in. I will drop you both at college. Your mouth opened before your brain could fully process what you were about to say. It's okay, Sia. You go ahead with him. I'll just call a cab. It shouldn't take too long. But Sia was having none of it. She grabbed your arm with surprising strength, her eyes bleeding. Don't be ridiculous. We are already running late, and who knows how long you will have to wait for a cab out here. Come on, just get in. He wanted to protest further, to come up with any excuse that would save you from the torture of being in close proximity to the man who had shattered your heart into a million pieces just a month ago. But Sia was already opening the back door and practically pushing you inside, leaving you no choice but to comply. The leather seats were cool against your skin as you settled into the back, your body as far to the side as physically possible. Sia climbed into the front passenger seat beside her cousin, immediately filling the silence with chatter about her upcoming birthday party. You kept your eyes fixed firmly on the window, watching the world blur past, acutely aware of every breath. The car ride felt eternal and yet too short all at once. In the rear view mirror, you could see his eyes flickering towards you, and each time your gazes met accidentally, it felt like a knife twisting in your chest. The memories crashed over you in waves, 3 layers of laughter, of stolen kisses, of whispered promises in the dark. 3 layers that had ended with 10 words. You had asked him why, your voice breaking, tears streaming down your face. How could 3 years mean nothing? How could he throw away everything you had built together? But he had simply looked at you with those same unreadable eyes and said that you didn't fit anymore, as if your relationship had been nothing more than all ill fitting piece. What hurt even more was the history you shared. Jungkook had been Theong's best friend for years before you and he had gotten together. You had known him since you were practically children, had watched him grow from a mischievous teenager into the complex man he was now. He knew your family, your secrets, your dreams. The car rolled to a stop in front of your college building, and Sia turned to beam at her cousin. Thanks so much, Appa. You're a lifesaver, and you're still coming to my birthday party? I'll be there, Jungkook confirmed, his voice carefully measured. Sia hopped out of the car, already pulling her phone out to check the time. You moved to follow her, your hand on the door handle, desperate to escape the suffocating tension. But as you stepped out, you felt his eyes on you, burning into your back. You didn't turn around, didn't acknowledge him, just walked away with your head held high, even as your heart crumbled all over again. Jungkook sat in his car, unmoving, watching your figure grow smaller and smaller until you disappeared through the college entrance. Only then did he realize the breath he had been holding, his hands gripping the steering wheel so tightly that his knuckles turned white. Though his face remained stoic, his eyes told a different story, one of anguish, of regret. Finally, he started the engine and drove away, leaving behind the girl who still owned every piece of his broken heart. Inside the lecture hall, Professor Kim droned on about artificial intelligence, his voice a distant buzz that barely resisted in your conscience. Your notebook lay open in front of you, your pen poised above the blank page, but no words came. All you could think about was Jungkook, the way he had looked at you in the mirror, the familiar scent of his cologne that had filled the car, the invisible wall between you that felt both impossibly high and devastatingly fragile. A gentle pat on your shoulder jolted you back to reality. Sia looked at you with concern etched across her features. Hey, are you okay? You have been staring at that blank page for the past 20 minutes. You blinked, forcing a smile that didn't quite reach your eyes. Yeah, I'm fine, just tired, I guess. But you both knew it was a lie. 2 days later, the evening of Sia's birthday party arrived. She had gone all out, transforming her family's spacious living room into an elegant party venue with twinkling lights, colorful decorations, and a table laden with food and drinks. Music pulsed through the speakers as guests mingled. You had dressed carefully for the occasion, choosing an outfit that made you feel confident and beautiful, even if your heart wasn't quite in the festive mood. Theon had picked you up, and you had ridden together in comfortable silence, your older brother occasionally glancing at you with an expression you couldn't quite decipher. The moment you walked through the door, your eyes found him. Jungkook stood near the far wall, dressed in black jeans and a white shirt that somehow made him look even more attractive than usual. He was talking to someone, but his posture was stiff, and when his gaze met yours across the room, the air seemed to crackle with electricity. What struck you more, however, was the palpable tension between Jungkook and Theong. Your brother's jaw was tight, his friend's demeanor noticeably absent, When Jungkook was nearby, they barely acknowledged each other, and when they did, it was with curt nods and forced politeness. As the party progressed, Sia clapped her hands together to gather everyone's attention. Okay, everyone, it's game time. We are playing Truth or Dare, and I expect full participation, no backing out. Groans and laughs filled the room as people settled into a circle. You found yourself positioned almost directly across from Jungkook, which felt both like cosmic coincidence and pure cruel fate. The game began innocently enough. Then the bottle spun and landed on you. There, you said perhaps a bit too quickly, not wanting to expose any of your current emotional turmoil through a truth. Sia's friend Mina pulled mischievously, her eyes sparkling with trouble-making intent. I dare you to kiss Jungkook. The room fell silent, every pair of eyes dwelled between you and Jungkook, the shock evident on everyone's face. They all knew about your relationship, about the breakup, about the complicated history. This wasn't just a dare, it was potential dynamite. Jungkook's eyes found Theong's, and something unspoken passed between them. Then, without a word, he began to stand, clearly intending to leave. The sight of him turning away, of him leaving you again, even in the small way, ignited something. Jungkook. Her voice rang out clear and strong, stopping him in his tracks. Are you leaving me now, just like you left me for my brother a month ago? He froze, slowly turning back to face you. Every person in the room was shocked into stillness, including Jungkook himself. His eyes were wide, his lips slightly parted. What's so shocking? You continued, your voice growing louder, months of suppressed pain and anger finally breaking free. You broke up with me because my brother asked you to. Your gaze snapped to Theong, who looked like he had been struck. Oppa, I know you made him do it because you are scared of his mafia background. You wanted to protect my life, but you failed to understand that you were destroying my heart in this process. Theong opened his mouth to speak, but you held up your palm, silencing him. Tears were streaming down your face now, but your voice remained steady, powered by the truth that had been eating away at you for weeks. Let me speak, Appa, please. You took a shaky breath. You wanted him there when I was in danger, to save me, to protect me, but he can't be my life partner. How does that make any sense? How is it acceptable for him to risk his life for mine, but not to share his life with me? Theong's face crumbled with guilt. Vine, I'm sorry. I know you were trying to protect me, you interrupted gently. But this isn't protection, this is suffocation. Then you turned to Jungkook, who stood motionless, his dark eyes glistening with unshed tears. You walked towards him, closing the distance between you until you were standing close enough to see the pain etched into every feature of his beautiful face. And your voice was softer now, but no less intense. You left me for my brother, you chose his wishes over our 3 years together, but you did ever stop to think that I was dying every single day without you? That every morning I woke up and remembered that you were gone? A tear escaped down Jungkook's cheek, and you reached up to wipe it away without thinking. Your hand lingered on his face, and he leaned into your touch like a man starved for affection. Safety, you continued, your own tears flowing freely now. Who can guarantee safety, Jungkook? Yesterday a man died in an accident, a normal man with a normal job, living a normal life. He wasn't involved in anything dangerous, and yet death found him anyway. Whose life comes with a guarantee? Your voice broke on the next words. I don't need a guarantee of tomorrow. I just want to live my life with you for whatever time we have. That's all I have ever wanted, Jungkook. Just for you. For however long fate allows us. Is that really too much to ask? You were sobbing now, all the grief and loneliness of the past month pouring out of you. Before you could say anything else, Jungkook pulled you into his arms, holding you so tightly that you could barely breathe. His own tears fell into your hair as he buried his face in the crook of your neck. "I'm so sorry," he whispered brokenly, his voice thick with emotion. "God, Van, I'm so sorry. I thought I was protecting you. I thought that if I stepped away, you would be safer, happier, better off. But I have been miserable. Every day without you has been torture. Please, please give me a chance to make this right. Let me correct this terrible mistake." You clung to him, your fingers gripping his shirt, as if he might disappear if you let go. Through your tears, you saw Theong approach, his own eyes red-rimmed. "Jungkook," your brother said quietly, "I'm sorry. I was wrong to ask that of you, wrong to interfere in your relationship. I thought I was being a protective brother, but I was just being selfish and scared. You love my sister and she loves you. I had no right to stand in the way of that. Can you forgive me?" Jungkook pulled back slightly, one arm still wrapped firmly around you. He looked at his best friend and slowly he nodded. "I understand why you did it. If I had a sister, I would want to protect her too. But Theong, I love Van more than anything in this world. I would die before I let anything happen to her." "I know," Theong said, his voice cracking. "I know you would. I'm sorry for doubting that." Then, to everyone's surprise, Jungkook gently released you and took a step back. He reached into his pocket and pulled out a small box, the same box you had seen him carrying 3 months ago, before everything fell apart. Your breath caught in your throat as he lowered himself onto one knee, right there in Sia's living room, surrounded by friends and family. "Ryan," he began, his voice trembling but determined, "I know I don't deserve another chance after what I did. I know I hurt you in the worst possible way, but these past weeks without you have taught me something crucial. I can't live without you. I don't want to live without you. You are my best friend, my confidant, my home. You're the reason I smile, the reason I want to be better. I was a coward who let fear dictate my choices, but I promise you that from this moment forward, I'll fight for us. I'll stand by your side through everything, the good, the bad, and the terrifying. So I'm asking you in front of everyone who matters to us both. Will you give me another chance? Will you be with me again?" The room was utterly silent, everyone holding their breath. You looked down at Jungkook, at the man who had broken your heart and was now offering to piece it back together. You saw the sincerity in his eyes, the love that had never really disappeared, despite the breakup. "Yes," you whispered, then louder. "Yes, Jungkook, yes." The room erupted in cheers and applause as Jungkook surged to his feet and lifted you into his arms, spinning you around as you both laughed and cried simultaneously. When he finally set you down, he cubed your face in his hands and kissed you with all the passion and longing of the past month apart. When you finally broke apart, breathless and grinning, Sia was crying happy tears, Theong was smiling despite his own tears, and everyone was celebrating the reunion of a love that had almost been lost forever. As Jungkook held you close, his lips brushing against your forehead, he whispered words meant only for you. "I promise, I will never let you go again. Never. You're stuck with me now for whatever time we have." And in that moment, surrounded by love and acceptance, with you firmly clasped in his, you knew that sometimes the greatest love stories are the ones that find their way back to each other, stronger and more certain than before. Because real love doesn't give up, it fights, it endures, it comes back, and your side finally come home. Thank you for watching.